Hello, and welcome back. As you can probably see, we are doing something completely different today. Again, maybe. There we go. Okay, so I thought we'd change up the pace a little bit. Okay, that feels a little better. I really hope the audio comes through on this, because if not, it will be a total loss, because I can film this one time and one time exactly, because once I start putting things in the jars, they can't come back out. We will be making element jars today. These can be used for a variety of purposes, as far as around your home, setting intentions, your altar, or just for funsies. Sorry, I'm talking really fast right now, and I don't know why this cone isn't lighting. It's the exact same one I used last time during my tarot video, because it is a backflow cone, but as we discovered last time, they burn from the top and the bottom simultaneously, which is excellent for purifying my jars. Come on, little guy. Wow, the last one went up almost immediately, but this one is not wanting to light. Also hoping I don't set my hand on fire. Because I would do something like that. How are you doing right now? Hopefully you're doing better than I am. Not lighting yourselves on fire. I wonder if real flame will just do the trick better than my little electric lighter. Usually the electric lighter works very well. It's what I used to light the candles in the back. But this just is not wanting to catch, so... Oh, here we go. Woo! That is going. That is strong now that it's actually working. Give it a minute. Okay, now we should be in business. So I do also have a white candle back here. Some of you might be thinking, why not just use the candle to purify the jars? Because that is also an option. But I will tell you, I will be trying, emphasis on trying, because again, propensity for lighting myself on fire, at the very end, to use the wax to seal the tops of the jars, if all is going well. So I don't want to light that just yet, because I don't want a giant mess. Now, I purchased almost everything we're going to see today at my favorite local store that carries magical bits, oddities. I actually got my altar cloth at the exact same store. It's called Faye's Cabinet. If you're local to this area, then you've probably been there, seen it, know about it. Wonderful store. Fantastic. I honestly spent way too much money. I spent about $90 on everything, plus a couple other odds and ends for around the house. Dried eucalyptus, dried lavender, for shower bundles and stuff like that. It does not have to be this expensive. A lot of the things that you're using to make jars like this, because they are just representative of the elements, use things you find outside. I do have a pine cone and a feather that I found myself. The feather was actually right by my car, so I feel like I was meant to pick it up. But those I will be using today for air and earth, respectively. Also this really awesome shell that I did not find, but I did get at a local fair. So it was like a barter to barter, found by another person's own hands, not a store or anything like that. Excuse me. Okay, so my jars are purified, so I'm going to start with air. So I have this jar of sand. It is ritual white sand. So we will actually be using the white sand in 2 places today. This jar and also the earth jar. Tiny spoon, courtesy of the bookish box, which is why it looks like a chess piece on top. I think it was from a Twilight themed package that they did. I don't know, I was subscribed to the bookish box for a while. I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, it just wasn't for me after the first few months. Kind of started running out of room for all the awesome stuff they were sending. But I did get a very nice blanket and a couple other things out of it that I absolutely love. But I know they also have some problems with some of their authors right now, not treating them the best, so I will not sway you one way or the other toward them. But we have our white sand. Because, of course, there are varieties of sand you can get. We are also going to use citron for this jar. It was labeled as citron when I picked it up out of a bin. It's just this particular little packet does not say citron anywhere on it, but rest assured, the lovely golden tones, this is citron. Oh, they taped it shut. Oh my. I was not prepared for such evils as tape in making this video today. I had everything else ready to go. I had my spoon, I had my incense, I had my tiny lighter. I was not ready for tape. I didn't bring anything sharp. This is where I draw the line. I will not attempt to light the bag on fire to get the plastic open. That would just be asking for horrible things to happen to me. And I rather like the place I live in. I don't want to start a fire. There we go, that will do. I think that's a nice amount. I'm not going to use all of the chips. Just a nice amount and see how gorgeous those colors are. Even without a lot of lighting here, they sparkle very nicely. So that is layer 2. And last but not least, I have my feather. As you can see, the feather is a bit bigger than the jar. So I'm going to try to very carefully curve it down into the jar so it just fits nicely. Please, 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 please. I don't want to break it or abuse the feather in any way. I just want it to kind of curve. That kind of worked. I still feel sad. Do not mistreat your feathers. Love your feathery friends. But that is air. Jar number 1 complete. Very easy one. Only 3 items in this jar. Second one we're going to do is earth. And we are following the cardinal directions. And as you can see, I do have all my notes written down over here. This desk is not very large, and at the angle I have to sit to film it, you can see about 85% of what's on my desk right now, which does include my book. Because there is no way I would remember this list of ingredients and be able to film all of this. Which I must do in one take and one take only, because I can't scoop ingredients out of a jar once they're in the jar for multiple tries. So, good, bad, ugly, disruptions. This video is going up. Sorry, I started rambling again. Sometimes I really need to just let things happen. It's half the point when it comes to ASMR videos, especially crafts. You want to hear the sand slipping as I scoop it into the jar. You want to hear the clink of the spoon. Not just me talking. that's enough. That looks to be about even with the last jar. And that's all the sand that we need, so I'm going to put the cork back in that before I spill it all over the place. See, small things like that I really have to be careful about because, again, one take and one take only. Thankfully not a crucial moment, but I really need to come up with a better way to put my camera on for these things. There we go. Back in business. Okay, next is going to be malachite. Tiny packet. Malachite right here. The camera will focus. It will not. Oh my gosh, they did a really good job stapling this. There we go. That was harder than it needed to be. Everything made of plastic is giving me difficulties today. I don't know if that's a sign of something, but it's certainly not fun. And there's not quite as much malachite in this bag as there was with the citron, so I'm going to attempt to get most, if not all, of this lovely green malachite into this jar. Next, we do have two different herbs. We have some white sage. Excellent for many different uses, kind of the basis of most purifying and protection spells. And we have cedar. My ingredients are slightly particular to where I live. Cedar, the pine cone. You can use anything that's more in tune with your locale. Twigs, leaves from trees that are common in your area. If you have a lot of flowering trees where you live, you can definitely press or dry some of the flowers and use them instead of using a pine cone or a twig. That would be a beautiful addition to an element jar or an altar of any type. There is that open. I'm just going to take out a single piece, maybe. I'm going to have to break it in half just to make it fit. Lovely crunching sound. So white sage. Set that back there. Oh, my small desk. Oh no, I accidentally rotated the camera angle. Now you can see my makeup desk too. We're not interested in that today, thank you though. I wonder how long that's been like that for. Oop. So the cedar frond looks like this, very much like a pine tree. It is dried, so I am very capable of breaking off just a couple small pieces. We're rolling with it today, folks. So I've got my cedar fronds included. And then the pine cone. It is a little worse for the wear. I did find it like this. I did not find it whole and intact with the top. It was already a little broken. Looked like some birds had harvested from it, maybe. But we love broken things. It's okay. Nature is beautiful when it's not perfect. So I'm going to take just a couple small pieces of the pine cone here. Add those to my jar. And that is earth completed. going to do water. So this one's going to be fun. We have some Dead Sea salt. Salt, of course, always good for banishing, protecting. I will say I'm a big Supernatural fan, so anytime anyone says get the salt, I immediately go into Dean mode. I love how every one of these recipes for these jars has a nice base to it. So you can see the ingredients all stacked up on top of each other and highlighted really nicely. So if you do want to keep them on display on an altar, they look lovely when they're done. Or if you put them in the corners of your home or cardinal points in your home, they won't look particularly odd being out in the open. There we go, that's a nice layer. Sea salt over there. My. Yeah, I got some on the table. Oh well. And then two different stones for this one. Number one, I have the piece of lapis. It's a larger tumble. That was really all I could get my hands on. They didn't have any lapis chips like this when I was at the store. These are Aquamarine Chips. Aquamarine and lapis are both excellent representations of water. Both very calming stones, much like water, reminding you to go with the flow. Take things as they come. There's so much variety in Aquamarine, it almost looks just like the ocean or a tranquil lake. Just at the surface when it's all bright and shiny and clear. Love it. Beautiful. Oops. Where did it go? There it is. It's very small and very flat. Hard to find. Dagnabbit. It's gonna be one of those nights. And then my piece of lapis. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit everything in here. I may have overdone it because my shell is honestly quite large. If I'm very careful, I can maybe get them both to fit. Because the aquamarine and the salt are so small, they are mobile. Come on. Aha! Just barely got that in there. The tip of the seashell is going to be right up against the cork, but that's okay. That is water done with a centimeter to spare. Last jar is going to be fire. So for this one, we're going to start with our base of black salt. For this one, honestly, you could also use, what is it, the crushed eggshells people do, and then they blacken, to create a different kind of protective salt. I don't know why it's escaping me right now. If you know, you know. But this was one of the harder ingredients to find. I didn't think I was going to get my hands on it. But I also don't really eat enough eggs to have a collection of eggshells for making my own crushed eggshell salt. So, you do what you can. Thankfully they did have it. It was just in a weird spot. And you will notice, in addition to being aligned with the elements, most of the ingredients in this jar, all of the jars actually, do have protective connotations. Not every single element, but the various types of salt, some of the specific stones and herbs. Because when you're working with the elements, you do generally ask for or include some level of protection in your spells, in your desires. Boop. Perfect. Black sand. Then we're going to have some red Jasper. This one I had to buy in a jar because it's the only size they had it in. I almost had to go for a substitute, but thankfully I found the tiny jar. I will have red Jasper to last for a long time. So that is the red Jasper in. And now the last ingredient is a cinnamon stick. If you don't have whole sticks, you can, of course, use ground, mix it into your black salt. But I bought a whole cinnamon stick because it is fall, and I'm a sucker for fall things, and I just thought it was a nice aesthetic because I'm weird like that. And I'm going to attempt to break off a piece or two because this is way too big. And no, I did not plan ahead. Maybe a little bit more. Nope, I am getting 2 pieces and 2 pieces only. It has decided 1, 2. Oh, it smells really nice in here now. Love the smell of cinnamon in the fall. Okay, that is jar number 4. Now is the very fun part where I try to not light my entire place on fire and also not knock over the camera, which is very precariously set on my lap right now, in an attempt to light this and melt it enough that I can use the wax to seal all 4 of the jars. Am I nervous? Yes, because I am very clumsy by nature. I'm lucky I've only had 1 minor mishap so far. Well, here we go. Probably scoot these over a little bit and actually pull it closer. closer to me to where I can actually do what I want to do. That would make sense, wouldn't it? So I have my lovely resin coaster here. This I ordered from one of my favorite salespeople. She used to be on Etsy, but now runs her own website. And I follow her on Instagram. She does resin art, fluid pours. She makes earrings that often have resin designs poured into them. Great artist. It's Tarte by Terra. Super cute designs. I love this. But since it's resin, it is heat proof to a degree. The wax, if I spill, will not mess it up. I hope. It should be easy to clean off. This was advertised as a candle holder, so I'm really hoping it's easy to clean off. That's the easy part. First jar again will be air once we get some wax melting. Oop, there we go, we're getting a little bit. Now it's burning closer to the center. I'm definitely going to burn myself. And before you ask, no, I've never done this before. I'm also slightly worried that dipping it in an angle like this might just make the candle burn out. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're not looking for 100% across. Hey, so far it's working. This is going great. As soon as I say that, I miss. It's okay, that's the nature of art. And witchcraft and everything else. I'm burning my finger. Totally okay. Honestly, I burn myself all the time. I burned myself baking cookies earlier, so what's new? Okay. Air is done. I have wax stuck up under my finger. I don't think you can see it because of the shadows, but ooh, there it goes. Okay, next. Our lovely earth jar. This one definitely had the most ingredients, I think. Oh god. Now I'm scared I'm gonna burn myself again. How sad is that? The wax is also a lot drippier than it was on the last one. I'm getting rivers of it, whereas before I was getting literally single drops, which was easy to control. Now it's just kind of going everywhere. Okay, I think I made it all the way around on that one. This is thrilling and terrifying at the same time. So we have the very, very, very full water jar up next. Maybe it will save me from getting burned. maybe that's part of why the wax is running all over the place instead of forming a nice seal. It's probably what it is, honestly. User error. Did I mention I've never done this before? Which you'll think is weird, because I already have a video about tarot cards, and multiple videos talking about moon phases and blessings and all that. I am very much a book witch, if we want to call it that. I've studied. Oh, I just ran my hand all the way up through the wax. Oh, that hurt. Okay. Make sure I didn't mess up my seal too bad. Nope. It's good. That was an extra layer, I suppose. But yeah. I would consider myself just a book witch. I've studied a lot about Wicca, paganism, different religions in general, but mostly nature-based. Religions over the years. I studied it very heavily into Greek and Roman religion of the old, with the gods and goddesses in the temples. I was a big history nerd too in school, so that made sense. But I also studied a lot of Celtic and Irish folklore. What I could get my hands on regarding Druidism, which being in Indiana, that wasn't a whole lot when I was younger. We didn't have as many great internet resources as you have now. Yes, I'm dating myself a little bit here. I am not exactly young. But I gotta say, seeing everything now with Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and I can go on Pinterest and find 10,000 different ways to add to my witchy repertoire today. And it's just so inspiring. I mean, I'm glad there's such an acceptance now and a movement back toward the old ways. And a lot of new influences mixed into. It's ever evolving, ever present, ever growing to suit our needs. And I think that's part of the beauty of it. Well, I did it. I now have burns on 3 fingers and the back of my hand. But that is my one shot, one take elemental jar creation ASMR witchy craft time. Here are the finished products. I'm going to get more wax on my hands handling these, oh god. But don't they look lovely? Like and subscribe if you want to. Leave a comment letting me know if you like this kind of video where I do more interactive things and talk with you about different topics, or if you like my more traditional guided meditations. I like doing both. I really do. I think meditations have their place. I think the more interactive ASMR videos like this have their place. And I enjoy all of it. I just want to know what you like. If there's anything I could be doing that I'm not, and that you have an idea for, let me know. I will prioritize what you want as much as I can. Granted, nothing involving like Lambos or anything like that. I don't have that kind of money. I wish. But things like this where I can just get a bunch of supplies and go crazy and show you guys something that you maybe haven't seen before. This is really fun to play with now that it's not burning me. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below